the African real estate opportunity we have with a population exceeding 220 million and the rapid urbanization, Nigeria represents Africa's largest real estate market. And Lagos alone attracts over $2 billion annually in property investments. Of course, that has positioned the nation as a pillar for international capital seeking emerging market opportunities. Now, I'll be asking one or two questions. Now, for foreign investment in the year 2023, we had about $4.2 billion in the total real estate capital inflow. And as of last year, my privilege as chairman of Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter, as of last year, it was said that by data that about 70% of the foreign direct investment that came to Nigeria came into real estate. And I can confidently tell you that from that 70% of it again came to Lagos State. So the question we keep asking ourselves is this: where is the 70%? And did you take from that 70%? Now, what I want to say as an addition is this: how much exactly did Nigeria make from the 30th December last year? Lagos specifically. It was said to be about 6 billion naira. That is about $71.6 million. That was what came into Lagos last year, December. And good enough, we're already entering October by the grace of God. So what preparation are you making to be among those that will partake of the 30 December cake this year? Hotel, short-term apartments, transportation services benefited immensely from the influx of visitors. I can tell you for free that as at October last year, a lot of people, I was with one of our partners at Laka Prime Tropicana, that's the chairman, and I actually saw that people had lodged in as at October 1st last year for 30 December. Everywhere was fully booked. All our shortlet apartments on the mainland, on the highland, fully booked. People begging with money. So the question is this: those your boys' quarters that you just stockpiled with newspapers that you have not touched for years, what exactly is it doing? Now, one of my neighbors, I stay in Alfred Gardens on the mainland, and one of my neighbors, I told them, I said, you are doing very well, you don't need small money like small boys like us, but I can give you a free advance. And so the madam said, okay, tell us the. I said, ma'am, you have a room and a parlor boys quarter at the back. And so what do you have inside? And they said, once in a while, their driver can stay there anytime, he stays beyond time and all of that. I said, so who pays your electricity bill? Who pays for all of the other facilities you have to pay for in the estate? They said, we pay. I said, let me remind you, I hope you remember that you're more retirees. They said, yes. I said, so you have pension and you are using the pension to do recurrent expenditure. I said, what about giving out that room and the parlor at the back? They said, no, they don't want anyone to intrude to their privacy and all of that. I said, okay. I said, for your information, that room and parlor in that estate, as at that year, was going for about 1.5 million naira per year. And if you want to give it out for shortlets, about 150,000 naira per night. He said, what? I said, so what I'll do for you is to help you get somebody that will not trouble you. You use this entrance, the person uses that entrance. Is that okay? They said, okay, we hand it over to you. Fast forward, somebody got in there. So the first year was 1.5 million. Their annual payment for their recurrent bill for the entire year was about 800,000 naira that year. And so from the 1.5 million, they paid for 1 full year. By the next year, they said, I've increased rental. I said, but you'll be disturbing your entrance. No. You open my eyes to say. Guess what? By the time the guy was leaving that apartment at the end of about 4 years, he had upgraded that room and parlor. He introduced the roof and extension, and he's an Igbo guy, of course, and introduced a wall, did some dry construction. He turned it into a 2-bedroom flat, neat, clean. That the landlord and the wife was saying that, what have I said doing by 401? I said, no, this is generating money for you. You don't have to give it to somebody and let it keep generating income for you. So the question is this: majority of the places you locked up. Now, I have an assignment, and that assignment is very simple. Many years ago, after what happened in Ukraine happened, God laid it in my heart and said, tell all Nigerians living abroad that if what happened in Ukraine will happen again, wherever they stay, ask them where are they going to. And so it was a very simple question. And so, seriously, go back and check it. I don't want to mention names. When the war happened in Ukraine, in fact, one of our brothers who knows one of the largest churches exactly in Europe, was targeted. And he left Ukraine with a backpack. And I know the boy who drove him away from Ukraine outside for 2.5 hours just to make him escape. Now, the question is this. This man has built all of the years in Ukraine and left with nothing. So my assignment is this to all people who live abroad is this. I'm not saying you should come back to Nigeria and relocate. But the question is this. If what happened in Ukraine will happen, where exactly are you going to? So, because of that, many of them, actually I said many of them, yes, there are terrible cases. We have issues of trust, subject of trust as part of the challenges. People no longer trust. I was in Israel about 2 years ago, and somebody said, you know what? We want to buy property, but we have been duped severally. I said, that's not it. I mean, it's not a new news. It's not a news for us. You know it happens all the time. But Nigeria is still yours, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yes, you have told us, if it's that is where you live, is where you come home. Yeah, true. But the question is this. Even the man that had a tribal mark on his face was still speaking English. And I told him, I said, God, where's your place? It's Nigeria. We have to come together and make things happen. I mean, I can tell you for free. I mean, I'm dropping my slide, not saying anything about the slide again, but people are coming up massively. How well are we receiving them? We have challenges with funds transfer. I have a lot of people who buy properties from us overseas, and when it is time to pay, it's a huge challenge. And these are the challenges that is staring us in the face for us to take as an opportunity to create something to receive many of those opportunities. What about the issue of inflation? Selling property, we built an estate in the Kenya GRA, and we sold on our plan. By the time we were at 80% completion, it was so glaring by the last year inflation rates that we could not deliver for that same rate. So what did we do? We came to consensus with all of the clients, told that, you know what? We have to either top up or you help us finish your tires. And it was a deal. And everybody walked to this line. And that was how we were able to deliver on that essence. I can tell you there are challenges, but the question is this. Is all of us going to walk away from those challenges? No. Somebody has to fix it. What was I doing in Morocco a few days ago till this morning? Simple. I met with the chairman of all estate developers in Morocco. We had close to about 30 to 40 estate developers in Nigeria that were there together on this training. And the man said, for you to access loan in Morocco to build, and the only thing you take 5.5% interest rates, 5.5% interest rate. You'll be funded. You just need 10% equity, your own contribution, and 70% from whoever is going to do it. I mean, the bank that will facilitate it. And once it is bought, you can now still pay for about 30 to 40 years. And that's how it happens in many countries. Please, we want to beg you, man. We need your help. A lot of people also come home. They are bleeding. They are crying because it's my own passion. And I move from country to country as invited to come and talk to Nigerians. How can they have a soft landing coming back to Nigeria, to still be able to say, this is my own 1 bedroom, this is my own 2 bedroom. In case you want to convert some of those spaces into lettable spaces in preparation for 30 December, I'm here to have a conversation with you. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adeniyi.